Hello everyone. In today's lecture series, let's start with something relatable. Imagine you open a fridge and see that the milk smells sour or bread with green patches. What is exactly happening there? That is what is called as food spoilage, a process where food loses its quality, safety, and acceptability. So over here in today's video we'll be discussing about what are the different types of food spoilage that occurs and what are the indicators in case of spoilage. So we will be discussing about topics like what is food spoilage, what are the different types, spoilage indicators and its importance, industry control. Food spoilage in general is defined as any undesirable change in food that makes it unfit for the consumption. Nowadays, an important concept, spoilage is not always equal to food poisoning, but it indicates that the conditions favorable for microbial growth which can lead to food safety risks. So spoilage is like an early warning system. As we discussed before, it is an undesirable or an unacceptable change that is not likable by the consumers. And over here, we have the different types of spoilage. So the different types of spoilage is broken down into three main categories, which is starting with the microbial spoilage, chemical spoilage, as well as the physical spoilage. So let's discuss about this in more detail. First, we're going to talk about microbial spoilage. Microbial spoilage is the most important type. Microorganisms such as bacteria, yeast, and mold, they utilize the nutrients and produce byproducts. So if you take bacteria, they break down the proteins. As a result, we have the foul smell. And they also produce sticky surface. In case of yeast, fermenting sugars, which is converted into alcohol and gas, which leads to bubbling or the foaming in case of the products. This is more likely noticeable in case of spoiled fruit juice. Whereas in mold, they grow on the surface like fuzzy patches. So bread mold, all that is going to be those categories. And over here, next we have the other type, which is nothing but the chemical spoilage. As you can see in the image, this is how a chemical spoilage basically occurs. This type occurs without the microorganism. So the main role over here is the oxidation. The oxygen is going to react with the fats. As a result, rancidity is produced, which will result in bad smell as well as taste. So it will be more like, let's say, breakdown of these proteins and all that. And then we have the physical spoilage. This is caused by environmental and the mechanical factors. So let's take the bruising during transport or the moisture loss and the shriveling of the product, insect infestation. Even without microbes, food quality is going to decrease. Spoilage indicators. How do we identify the spoilage? Sensory indicators, the color, which is the most powerful tool. Then we have the smell, which is also considered as a powerful indicator, and the texture. In case of chemical indicators, we have pH changes, rancidity, and biological indicators, we have the microbial growth. These indicators help in making quick decisions. And over here, we're going to discuss about the importance of spoilage indicators. Why it is important? It prevents the foodborne illness, reduces the food waste, maintains the quality of the product, improves the consumer trust. Industries rely heavily on these indicators. So as a result, we have few industry control measures over here in the slide, like cold chain maintenance, shelf life labeling and monitoring, using of preservatives, and hygiene handling and processing. And this is a few summary or an outline of what we have discussed in this class. With this, I would like to conclude by saying that spoilage is not about food going bad, it's about understanding the science behind it. so that we can prevent the losses, thereby ensuring the safety in a food product. Thank you.